All right. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessed salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh by Shema Shai. And what I want to discuss today, just dealing with bond men and bond women, because within this society, all right, especially, this modern time, we've been far removed, from that ancient noble way of our forefathers. You see, we've been far removed, and our people think on such a low level, and they think pretty much there's no success above having, a lot of money. They count that as the only prosperity. Men, talking about how many hoes they got, all right? No legacy. You got women that brag about, all right, how many niggas they got, that's benefiting them. You see? And that's pretty much the thought of prosperity when you think of our people, status, a good job, nigga got that mind frame, a good job, and they think that's some type of prosperity, man. But prosperity begins with sovereignty, man. All right? True prosperity is sovereignty, when you can rule over people. And see, that's what's promised to the nation of Israel. Now, when you go into rulership, all right, there's particular things that are normal. See, like I said, we've been so far moved from rulership and sovereignty, and that ancient way, that when you read the scriptures, a lot of people read it, and be offended because they don't understand, all right, rulership. They don't understand, all right, the ancient way. All right. Now, when you go, let's just start off here in Jeremiah. Let's get that in Jeremiah. All right, so when you get Jeremiah chapter 6, get Jeremiah chapter 6, all right, verse 16, and it says, "Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths." And see, we're going back to the old paths. First, you start with a standard. You see that? It starts with a standard. The law, statutes, and commandments. Those are the old paths. That brings order, and that brings us closeness with our power. And through Yahweh Shai, all right, his sacrifice, which it was opened up a new covenant for us, that's going to bring us into rulership. All right? And you got to understand, all right, the perks of rulership. That's something, that I'm heavily interested in, just, the perks of rulership, just watching a lot of, older films, and you see, pretty much the perks of rulership. And a righteous rulership is going to benefit everybody, even eventually the people that's in servitude unto us. All right, Esau even going to be destroyed, but these other nations that's in servitude to us, it's going to benefit them, and they're going to love it. You see, after a while. That's why the scripture talk about them coming, all right, to Jerusalem, to Mount Zion, and learning of thy ways, man, because they're going to see the benefits of a righteous rulership. But these other nations will be, all right, forever in servitude, all right? And it's not going to be a rigorous, captivity eternally, you see, but for that 1,000 years it is, because a standard and a statement, has to be made in the earth, you see? But when you go into it, I don't want to go into it. Let me finish this. It says, "Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths wherein the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls." But they said, "We will not walk therein." Yeah, the masses of our people don't want to walk, all right, in that old way. You see, they think the Bible is outdated, and pretty much Esau, Edom, the way he has watered down, the Bible with Christianity. When you think of Christianity, you don't think of rulership. You know, you don't think of servants. You don't think, of prosperity. All right, as a ruling nation, you don't think about your whole nation being in power. All right, when you deal with Christianity, man. All right, it's that pretty much the New World Order doctrine. Everybody equal, all about love, accept everything, and you know that's that. But no, the scripture is talking about The scripture talks about whole nations of people coming and going out of power, and at the end, all right, Israel has an everlasting kingdom that's promised unto them. Now, it was normal, all right, for our foremothers to have handmaids. I wanna harp on handmaids because it was a question asked, yesterday. The sister, I think Princess Judith, if I'm not mistaken, but she asked about concubines and different things in the scriptures in the kingdom. Well, you have to understand that handmaids, all right, are very vital, you know, within rulership. All right, handmaids will be very useful. These heathen women will be very useful, in the kingdom, and in the kingdom of heaven. All right, the men of Israel, is going to be above everyone. All right, and then you're going to have the women of Israel under those men, and those women will be above. All right, all these other heathen women. You see, and we're going to go into that. We're going to go into the structure, all right, of a noble household. All right. Now, let's get Genesis 29. I want to say 29. All right. This is Genesis 29 and 29. All right. And it says, and Laban, all right. Now, this is Genesis 29:28. It says, and Jacob did so and fulfilled uh, her week, and he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah his handmaid to be her maid. You see? So his father, Rachel's father gave her Bilhah, which was a handmaid, of Rachel. You see? Well, she was a handmaid of Rachel's father, but she came with Rachel. All right, when Isaac went to go get Rebecca, she had a nurse with him. See, what you have to understand, like with Abraham's family, they had substance. You see, because you were married according to your class, you know. So it was nothing for an Israelite woman to have a handmaid, especially if she came from a family of substance. All right, and that would be like a middle class family. You would have, handmaids. You know, how much more nobility? How much more? All right, why do you think Solomon was able to have all those women? All right, because he had abundance of resources. You know, so how much more in the kingdom? But just sticking to this point, that was a common thing. Now, when you go into the word handmaid, all right, you go into the word handmaid. All right. Now it says a maid servant, a slave girl. It says a maid servant as belonging to a mistress. See, what you have to understand is Rachel and Leah, they didn't stay in the same house, but they each had a handmaid. You see, and Rachel was the mistress of whatever house she stayed in, which mistress just goes into a female version of saying like master. All right. So Rachel, all right, was the mistress of one house, and Leah was the mistress of another house, and they had the handmaids under them. All right. And that was always a way of our forefathers. Now, let's go from there. Let's go to Leviticus and see what happened. The serpent, like Esau eating the serpent, came with another way and pretty much liberated Eve from under Adam, you know, to pretty much make it seem as if he had a better way. Cause now instead of a woman being under, a man, you know, and then the woman having other women under her, no, she wants to have multiple men, well, pretty much she's treated, all right, like the king, you know. She's pretty much in the stead of a king. Like you look at these women, that's the mind frame they come in. Like you got to prove, you're worthy for them. You know, you got to prove what you got to offer them. You see, that's what the serpent came to with Eve, not knowing that Eve had it made. You know, our foremothers, they was in some good situations, man. Like I say, Esau paint that picture, like every in the ancient world, everybody was like mist on the color purple. No, man. All right, we came from a noble people, man, where the men were set up, the women, all right, was set up. When we was obedient to our power, you know, and this was a common thing. This was a common way having handmaids. So when you go into Leviticus, what do the scriptures say? All right, when you go to Leviticus, uh, let's go to Leviticus 25. All right, Leviticus 25 and 44. All right, this is Leviticus 25 and 44. It said, both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, you see that, which thou shalt save, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall you buy bondmen and bondmaids. You see? Because you got to understand, these these people ain't going to be eunuchs, all right? Like the bondmen and bondwomen that we're going to have in the kingdom, these heathens, they're going to have children, and our children will inherit their children. All right, that's how it's gonna work. Slaves are gonna reproduce themselves. Bond men and bond women, they're gonna reproduce ourselves as our families grow. The bond men and bond women, they're gonna have to multiply. You see? So bond men and bond women, all right, you're gonna have, like I say, women that are gonna be more domestic slaves, you know, and men are going to be more so of the hard laborers, especially that first, 1,000 years. You see, they're like it was like you had Jake Eve was out there in the fields too, you know, but you had some Eve, all right, the best of the best, the pretty girls were where they was in the house. Now Esau was wicked as hell. He'd deal with somebody's wife, and he was into all type of abominations. All right, but that's just how it was, man. Like the prettier, all right, the best looking women would be in the house. That's just how they went, and that's with any captivity, man. So reading it again, it said, both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids uh which thou shalt have shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them ye shall buy bondmen and bondmaids. Now, when you go to the promise, to let you know that the Israelite man and Israelite woman, all right, are going to receive all the benefits of rulership. All right, the men are going to receive, you know, all the the dominion, you know, all that dominion, all that power, you see, and the women will get the benefit off that. All right, but the men and women of Israel, all right, will enjoy all the benefits of rulership. It's gonna be far beyond anything that you have set up now. All right, you got a phone full of niggas you can call. You can, all right, get this from that nigga, that from that nigga, but then your body wore out. Then you got, multiple baby daddies, and then you got all the different sperm in you, so you bug the hell out. All these spirits on you, but you can go on a cruise every year. You go, on a trip, you go to Miami, go, on a trip somewhere every year. and that's living. No, that's horrible. All right, a shit show, and that's why you see the outcome. All right, now we're seeing the aftermath. All right, of the philosophy of the serpent with Eve. No, man, we have a much more noble and you know, high-born way of living, man. It's way beyond that, man. You know. Now, uh, let's get what I was gonna get. Oh yeah, let's get the blessing of Jacob. All right. Now, when you go to the blessing of Jacob, what does it say? This is Genesis 27 and all right, this is Genesis 27 and 28. And it says, therefore the Most High give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. All right. So remember that corn and wine. All right. Because the fatness of the earth, which is the most plush parts to live in, you know, and we ain't seen houses yet. The best mansion you can think of on this side compared to a palace in the kingdom. You know, the best vacation you can think about ain't gonna compare to 10 seconds in the kingdom, man. You see, the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven, which is the whole earth, and it says, and plenty of corn and wine, which is plenty substance. You're gonna have plenty substance, man. All right, and it says, let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. This is all going to rulership. All right, let people serve thee. All right, we're going to be served by people. We're going to, when you go into it, people's life are going to be dedicated, all right, to serving the nation of Israel. You see? And you will never get this on this side, man. All right? Not in this fullness, not, in this totality, man. You know? Then the wickedness you gotta go to the rise up in the ranks of Esau, Edom. Now you go into the word serve in the Hebrew, it's abad. All right, it says to work, to save, to labor, to work. All right, to work for another, to serve another by labor. You see that? Everything is going to be served. We're gonna have servants for everything, man. You see? Remember, plenty of corn and wine. So you gotta think everything that you enjoy, everything that you like, it comes from the earth. All right. Do you like dresses, beautiful dresses? Well, that comes from the earth. Silk, all right, comes from the silkworm. Linen it grows. Cotton, it grows. You see, so the best clothing, all right, comes from the earth, and we're gonna have plenty of it. You see, everybody talking about marble floors and all this. Well, we're gonna have precious stone floors, all right, and that comes from what, the earth. So plenty of corn and wine. You think they're talking about ears of corn and some boost form. No, man, it's talking about resources, because wine comes from what, the grape, which is a resource. Corn is a resource. And when you have abundance of it, it said plenty. When you have abundance of it, all right, you need servants, all right, to make it useful. That wine, we're not going to be treading grapes in the kingdom. No, people are going to be treading grapes in the kingdom. These heathens, they're going to be, all right, treading the grapes in the wine press, making fresh wine. All right, it's going to be our vineyard, but they're going to make it useful for us, man. All right. Those we can have orchards of peach trees and different trees, but hey, them peaches ain't gonna turn to cobbler by themselves, man. No, you're gonna have people that's gonna make that process happen, man. You know, hey, your husband coming home from, you know, a long day of ruling. You see, he coming to your palace tonight. You see, hey, you want him a fresh lamb dinner? Well, hey, that servant got to get to it, man. These people got to make it work. The men gonna have to do the slaughtering, and the women gonna, do the prepping and cooking, man. You know, these heathens, man. All right, the script say gonna be continued unemployment. Ain't gonna be nobody just floating around. single and doing them and taking selfies. No, everybody gonna have something to do. Everybody gonna have some type of responsibility in the kingdom, man. You know, ain't gonna be none of this life of now. All right, you just got a bunch of random people trying to find themselves. No, you gonna be born found. All right, so going on now. Remember, it said it blessed Jacob with plenty of corn and wine. Now let's prove that the men and women of Israel would enjoy the benefits of rulership. It's gonna be in order. All right, it's just gonna be in order where the men will be above and the women are gonna be under those men in order. All right. Now when you go to Zechariah, I want to say it might be 7, either 8. It might be 8 or 9. Let me see. Zechariah 8. Let's see real quick. All right, yep, this is Zechariah 9 and 17. It says, "For how great is his goodness, and how great is his beauty. Corn, remember that? Corn shall make the young men cheerful." All right? Because what? That's a resource, man. You know? Like, you get excited now. If you got $10,000, man, you will be, you'll be so excited, 10, $100,000, you'll be so excited, it'll be hard to sleep, you know. But imagine when you got the earth's resources at your disposal, man. You know? Imagine that feeling. You see? Imagine you got the earth resources to your disposal, man. That's how it's gonna be in the kingdom, man. You know? And the earth gonna give forth its fruit, man. Things gonna grow faster, things gonna grow bigger, it's gonna have more nutrients. You know, the earth gonna give its strength. Right now the earth is weak as hell under this rulership. You see? That's why scripture say a new heaven and a new earth. You see that? It's gonna be a new rulership, and the new earth is gonna give forth abundance, man. All right. It says, "For how great is his goodness, and how great is the beauty." It's It says, this is Zechariah 9:17. "For how great is his goodness, and how great is his beauty. Corn shall make the young men cheerful." All right, and new wine the maids. Talking about the women, and new wine the maids, showing that what, man, we're both going to enjoy the kingdom. We're both going to be in our rest. You know, now the Israelite woman still will be a servant under the Israelite man. All right, but it's not gonna be this overbearing. No, man, you gonna have servants. All right, you gonna oversee things. When you're a mistress of a household, your husband tells you something, and then you make it play out. All right, so it's gonna be beautiful, man. It's gonna be you sis, cause I don't know, 'cause I know we coming to the time now where all is the Israelite man pretty much being at the bottom. Esau, Edom, he presents this alternative way, this feminist way, and it's appeasing to the flesh. So if any sisters out there battling, you know, their demon, you have to understand, man, what's to come is gonna far exceed, this what Esau, Edom told you was living. It's gonna far exceed that, man. You know, we got a lot coming and to look forward to, man. You see, I say so. The Yahweh Shema Shai, he's a fair power, man. He's a just power, man. You know, because you'll think like, Most High he's all about, which he's all about men, of course, but he's not. The daughters of Zion gonna be on a whole nother wave, man. But it starts with the men. Yeah, we his sons, you know, and we have a great responsibility in the earth when it comes to rulership. You see, but you being the daughters of those men, all right, The scripture say you his daughters too, so you how you think you gonna be set up, man? But the Most High loves order. He hates disorder. A woman that's out of order, he's gonna show you how much he hate that in the earth, man. You see? But we was always promised these things, dealing with owning these heathens, man. Now, let's get these two real quick. Now, what does it say in the book of Psalms, chapter 2? We all gonna be good, man, but it's about being in order, you know? It's about patience. Hey, your submission is gonna go a long way. It's gonna go a long way. And when you think about, you go to Psalms 2 and 8, it says, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession." You see that? Going back to what? To the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven. And see, the last thing you're going to be worried about as an Israelite woman in the kingdom is what your husband is doing when he ain't around you. All right, you gonna have plenty of things to keep you occupied. That's a thought process that was instilled, during this captivity. Because pretty much Esau made the Israelite woman in this captivity pretty much an overseer of the Israelite man. That's why she was so big about checking the phone and trying to keep up where you been, and when you gone, she called 5, 10, 15, 20 times. That's like a damn overseer, man. And that's the position that they was given in this kingdom, man. So you can't have that mindset worried about what the Israelite man like. You really doing too much if you thinking like that. If you trying to figure out, well, they gonna be a mess with the heathen, you doing too much. All right, that shit irksome already just thinking about it. Like, what the hell you doing? Don't be in that mind frame where you trying to oversee. You think you need to oversee, what men are doing. No, all right, that shit gonna die here. It's gonna die soon. you know, that mind frame like you gotta oversee the affairs of the man. No, that's done. That's gonna die here, man. You know. Um, but going back into it, it says, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for an inheritance." See, we're going to inherit these heathens. That's part of our inheritance is these heathens, as people. There's no better human resource. There's no better resource than people. All right, which is human resources, man. And it says, "And the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession," man. You see? So this is what we're coming into. All right. We're going to own people. People want to be our possession. Yep, like the brother said, true rulership. All right. This is Isaiah 14. I end it here. This is Isaiah 14 and 1 said, "For the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers, Israelite foreigners, shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people, all right, and the people shall take them," and these are the heathens, "and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids." You see that? "And they shall take them captives who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors." You see? Because you got to think like, the men, we're going to have cupbearers. You women, you're going to have cupbearers. You know, y'all gonna get y'all hair back. It probably take 3, 4, heathen women to braid y'all hair, man. To do y'all hair, to brush y'all hair, man. It's gonna be far out, man. It's gonna be far out, you know. Come on, man. This ain't it. All right, the serpent lied. That nigga lied, man. It looked as sweet at first. It was cute, You were doing you, but hey, we see the end result. All right, it's done. They destroyed a whole generation of women. Damn near destroyed, man. It's only a few little remnant. All right, a piece of a half, like Craig said, a half of a piece. Of a generation of women that's left in America, man. Cause this that ain't gonna fly. All right. So I just want to put that out there. Lord, will you brothers and you few sisters edified. Until the next time I say Shalom, Kwam Yashala, a Bible Ball, DTA soon.